Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, June 17th. I'm Jon Weigell, and I do not yet have my own meme coin, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. When retail giants Walmart and Amazon start exploring launching their own cryptocurrencies, you know there's something a-brewing. Today, we're breaking down why these companies want to create digital dollars, how they could save billions in fees, and what it means when your grocery store might become your bank. We'll get to that in a bit, but first, let's give you the news in business and tech. Starting us off today, Coco Robotics, the company behind the cute but disturbing wheeled last-mile delivery robots found on city streets, is not going anywhere, having raised $80 million. Some of Coco's money comes from Sam Altman, whose OpenAI already has a training partnership in place with the startup. Next, in more tech news, Mark Zuckerberg is seeing dollar signs finally. Meta will start serving ads in WhatsApp this week. They won't be seen in your private chats, don't worry about that, but they will be in the app's Updates tab, which is used by 1.5 WhatsApp monthly users, which is about half, to see status posts from their contacts. I use WhatsApp every day and honestly couldn't be me. I didn't even know that existed before today. The company will also add paid subscriptions for channels on the app. This is over a decade after Meta spent $19 billion to buy WhatsApp in the first place. Next up here towards fashion, this might be a luxury turnaround. After a few bad years, Kering, the parent company of Gucci and others, saw a 10% pop in its stock price this week. The big news? Kering appointed Luca De Meo, former CEO of car company Renault, as its group CEO. Not sure what the correlation is, but hopefully he does a good job. And finally, the winner of Google's AI overview is Reddit. But is it really? The platform is, according to keyword data king SEMrush, showing up more in Google results thanks to last year's deal between the two. Google got to train its AI on Redditors in exchange for greater visibility on Google searches. But while that has now made Reddit into Google's second most cited source behind the questionable expertise of Quora, that hasn't necessarily helped the bottom line. Moderate traffic gains are nice, but most visitors coming in through Google search are not logged in, leading them to bounce quickly and limiting their advertising value on Reddit. Okay, look, side hustles fail when they consume all of your time. I mean, every single bit of it. The pros, though, work smarter with AI doing all the heavy lifting. To help you out, we just dropped the Side Hustle Accelerator database. You can search your exact problem for your side hustle, grab the perfect prompt, and get results. If you're struggling with marketing, content, and customer service, it's all solved in just seconds. This isn't just another tool, guys. It's your unfair advantage in a spreadsheet. So stop asking AI the wrong questions and start scaling with what actually works. You can get it for free in the link in our show notes, and you can stop right now, actually. Why don't you take a look down at those show notes and tap the link. You don't want to sleep on this. Okay, and on to our main story today. We're talking Walmart, Amazon, and potentially them having cryptocurrencies. Let's dive into it. The Wall Street Journal dropped a big bombshell last week. Amazon and Walmart are planning to launch their own stable coins, joining the ranks of companies like PayPal and Meta in the digital currency game. So the same company that delivers your toilet paper in 2 days and the store you need an atlas to navigate might soon be issuing their own cryptocurrencies. That's the bottom line here. But before we dive into why this is either a brilliant or crazy or both thing, let me explain what we're actually talking about here. Stablecoins are digital currencies designed to stay equal to regular money, like the US dollar. Unlike Bitcoin, which moves around in value daily, stablecoins are designed to maintain stable value. Stablecoins now account for the majority of on-chain transaction volume, and the roughly $238 billion stablecoin market has been growing real fast. They're used for everything from crypto trading to cross-border payments to storing your value without the wild price swings that, we're seeing more often nowadays. But here's where it gets interesting for retail giants. Cash transactions cost a retailer nothing, and stablecoins get very close to that. That could potentially be a revolutionary cost savings right there. Let's talk numbers because they are staggering. According to CryptoSlate, card processing fees range between 1% and 3%, and Walmart and Amazon specifically spend an estimated $14 billion annually on such costs. That's $14 billion a year just in processing fees. In 2021, the Fed found about $32 billion in total interchange fees on prepaid and debit card transactions alone, a number that was growing quickly. When you're the size of Walmart and Amazon, even a small percentage of that is massive money. Here's the kicker, though. A 1% reduction in those processing costs would translate to roughly $1 billion in annual gains for these companies. That's good for at least 30 years of Walmart trips if you're a big spender. So what exactly would Amazon and Walmart stablecoins look like? Think of them as digital gift cards. In the hands of retailers issuing their own stablecoins, such tokens would effectively be in-house currencies, which would allow for quicker transactions, especially across borders. Stablecoins also settle in seconds, with superior finality to card transactions, which can take days sometimes. For customers, this means faster refunds, instant transactions, and potentially lower prices if retailers pass on some of those cost savings to their members. But here's where it gets really interesting. If retailers issued their own, they would have an all-new source of profit, technically. Like existing issuers, they would get to keep the interest earned on all the money deposited to buy their stablecoins. Now, other large multinational companies, including Expedia Group and major airlines, are also considering similar initiatives. This isn't just about Walmart and Amazon. This could be the beginning of a shift in how commerce works, just generally. Imagine a world where every major retailer has its own digital currency, your Amazon coins for online shopping, Walmart tokens for groceries, United Airlines miles that are actually cryptocurrency, Buc-ee's with some kind of beaver coin that everybody wants. Definitely. It sounds like a similar situation to subscribing to too many streaming services, but it might be closer than we think to reality. Of course, not everyone is thrilled about this development. Senator Elizabeth Warren and consumer advocacy groups denounced a report detailing plans by major retailers, including Amazon and Walmart, to potentially issue their own stablecoins. She's more concerned about corporate control over money and potential corruption. I can kind of understand that here. The banking industry is also watching this with some great concern. Money sitting in retail stablecoins or on different kinds of apps is money banks don't have to issue loans and make money off of. Traditional financial institutions could see their role as intermediaries diminished if retailers start handling payments directly over the heads of the banks. Shares of the two retailers were little changed in recent trading, that is Walmart and Amazon. Meanwhile, Visa shares dropped 5% and MasterCard's stock slid 4% when the news broke. The market immediately understood the implications here. If successful, this could seriously disrupt the traditional payments ecosystem. But let's be realistic about the challenges here. Payments by stablecoin would undoubtedly be a win for retailers, but shoppers themselves might take some convincing. It would be on companies to find a way to convince customers to hold enough stablecoins to fund their purchases. Think about it. How many people are really going to want to convert their dollars into Walmart coin or Amazon Bezos bucks or whatever they're called? It's essentially like managing prepaid debit cards, but with extra steps and crypto complications. However, there are precedents. Starbucks has done great at that. Its app rewards program has led to customers holding hundreds of millions of dollars within the company rather than in the bank. If anybody can make this work, it's probably companies that already have millions of loyal customers, maybe looking at a McDonald's coin here somewhere. The international context is also important here. Other major economies around the world are years ahead of putting clear rules in place for stablecoins. The European Union has already, of course, implemented comprehensive crypto regulations, and the US has been playing catch up. Congress has also realized that instead of threatening the US dollar, stablecoins can help cement its global dominance because 99% of stablecoins are pegged to US dollars. In a world where the dollar's global dominance is being questioned right now, stablecoins might actually strengthen America's monetary position. But looking ahead, this could change how we think about money and commerce in total. We'll likely see stablecoins increasingly adopted as digital alternatives to the US dollar, so banks, fintechs, and merchants will be forced to offer stablecoin payment options in the future. Eventually, payment networks like Visa and MasterCard will have to do so as well, which will lead to lower fees. Competition is usually good for customers, and if this forces traditional payment processors to lower their fees, it seems like everybody could possibly win. The broader implications are interesting, though. We might be witnessing the early stages of a complete transformation of the financial system, where corporations, not just governments and banks, become major issuers of a currency. Of course, there are still, as we talked about, major hurdles. The Genius Act needs to be passed by both chambers of Congress to get signed by President Trump. Even then, regulatory approval processes, technical implementation, and consumer adoption will take time afterwards. Amazon and Walmart, bringing it back to the top, have not made formal announcements or filed license applications, but internal teams have begun evaluating technology partners and compliance paths. This is still in the planning stages, not yet at the implementation phase, and it probably won't be for a while. But here's the thing. When companies the size of Amazon and Walmart start exploring something, it usually means that big changes are coming. These aren't just some speculative tech startups experimenting with crypto. These are established giants with massive customer bases and proven track records of disrupting entire businesses. So the next time you're checking out at Walmart or clicking buy now on Amazon, remember, you might soon be paying with their own digital currency. Whether that's a dystopian nightmare or a payments revolution probably depends on whether you work at Visa or if you work at MasterCard. All right, and that's going to do it for us today. Thanks everybody for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of HubSpot Media. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. We've got a ton more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, get yourself signed up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram at thehustledaily. We'll see you later.